These relationships of domination and abuse not only leave scars like tar sands, open pits where virgin forests once stood, not only turn a home, complete with the most life per square inch in the world, into chlorine-dyed paper and maybe a piece or two of dead wood. They also steal the souls of the exploiter, rob the humanity of the oppressor. For all of us now, we've got to start dreaming of something better. We're not going to save the earth. But you know what? She will save us if we let her. And the planet and woman, they have this in common. They will survive. The only question is, are they going to be joined by men who have souls that are still alive? Or are we going to erase what's left of our humanity? Because men, every time we treat a goddess as a thing, we're losing much more than just our shot at eternity. We're also losing our chance at real love in the present. And since rape in this country is at least something like 20%, regardless of your intent, let's talk about consent. You're not my type means no. I'm not sure means no. I really like you, but means no. Silence means no. And if you can't make a woman scream yes before she's in bed, maybe that thing you thought you had with her was actually just in your head. And no, you do not have game. Games require skill, not brute force. And honesty and communication will always be sexier than your Versace shirt or shiny Porsche. This is a call to all men who dream of a brighter world. It already exists. And it's found in the eyes of these girls. You see, we're trying to turn that switch in your mind from off to on. We want to meet you in that place where all those prophets have gone. We want to see you rise up like a phoenix from the fire. Let's heal these wounded wings, spread them out and fly higher. It's time for some shit to burn away. So let these words be your lighters, calling all guerrilla guardians of the earth and spiritual fighters. Let's start coming up with those real questions. And let the woman answer. Take a side, stand against oppression. Let's all learn how to be better dancers. I'm not talking about just what you do on the floor. I'm talking about living a way in which allows others to live more, dance into this rhythm, sway into this drum, and no longer being ashamed of who you've become. How can you talk about loving your girl and not do a thing to change patriarchal society? How can you talk about land of the free when almost every woman in your life has been sexually abused and you do not even have the eyes to see? We live in a society that teaches don't get raped instead of don't rape. That's like telling those with darker skin to not be hated instead of telling the Klan to not hate. Imagine justice for every woman who's been oppressed. Imagine if every woman and man who's been raped said enough. And us guys had the courage to listen and learn. Imagine if the fires in the heart of this world had the freedom to burn. There's flames smoldering beneath the surface that are ready to ignite. And maybe soon the men of this world are going to be responsible for some excitement at night where we do entice. We do incite, but it's not the way you believe. We inspire fantasies, hot, sticky, wet ones where we are the ones who bleed. Women in my life dream of revenge. And they cut your veins instead of their own for all the torture, all the seeds of self-hate you've sown. But what gets me is their willingness to let the fires of their rage cool. If you would make a change and simply acknowledge what you've done, instead you're like a planet turning its back to the sun, or worse, more like shooting missiles straight into its core, receiving life from the source and in exchange initiating a war. But true warriors, they recognize what is sacred in their lives and protect it with everything they're worth. Are you a warrior? Are you a lover struggling for something new's birth? Do you protect what you love? Do you have the courage to live your life with instead of above? Or are you going to knowingly add to God's scars and opened wounds? If you do, let me tell you this. All the planets, stars, and moons and the soul of the earth herself will rise and put you back into your place. And trust me, you will remember that you don't own her the next time you are privileged enough to look God in the face.